In this room, the events that define the last 100 years have been discussed and debated. When the Titanic sank, the hearing was held in this room. When Pearl Harbor was attacked, the hearing was here in this room. When the Watergate scandal erupted in the United States and was being investigated, the hearings were in this room. And here, together, on this day, we have the opportunity to write a new chapter in history. Today, we are here because we are deeply concerned about the future of our planet. There can be no more important gathering than this one at this moment with all of you. We know the stakes. The planet is warming at an alarming rate. There are no emergency rooms for sick planets. We have to engage in the preventative care that makes it possible for us to avoid the worst, most catastrophic effects of climate change. It is an economic, a health, a national security, and a moral issue. Some of your nations are ravaged by drought. Some of your nations are watching the rising seas threaten your people. Some of your nations are recovering from historic storms. In America, our cities and shores have been battered by hurricanes. Our states have been parched by drought. Alaskan villages are slipping into the sea. All of us are affected, and all of us know it is our moral and professional duty to take action. We have precious little time left to avoid the worst effects of climate change. And we have little time left before the pivotal United Nations climate change negotiations in Paris that will be held in the winter of 2015 to show that we are serious about solving this problem are convened. I know from experience that negotiators follow legislators. In 2009, when I was the chair of the House of Representatives Committee, the Select Committee on Energy Independence and Global Warming and Energy Independence, with the extraordinary leadership of Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Congressman Henry Waxman and I passed the Waxman-Markey Climate Change Bill, and it is the only climate change legislation to pass the Chamber of Congress. No one thought it could be done at that point. A few months later, at the Copenhagen climate negotiations, it was that carbon reduction target that was in that legislation that became the basis for President Barack Obama's negotiating team, and that bill required 17% reductions by 2020 and 80% by 2050, and that is the pledge which President Obama made in Copenhagen. The goals that we had set in that legislation, that was passed in June of 2009. The more legislation that we can pass, the better the negotiations in Paris will be. I am not saying that it will be easy. There are those, especially in my country, who are still not convinced that climate change is real. But your actions are the antidote to that intellectual poison, because they can say that global climate change is not real, but they cannot deny that all of you represent global action in your countries to combat climate change. Your efforts are incredible and undeniable. I pledge to you that I will keep working to pass national laws here in the United States to fight climate change. The first bill I introduced as a United States Senator was to require that 25% of all of the electricity in the United States comes from renewable energy resources by the year 2025. I thank each of you for your efforts in your own countries and for your dedication to protecting our planet and for your leadership to safeguard the futures of your own people. We live in an interconnected world. We all experience its wonders. We all marvel at the beauty of its landscapes, the majesty of its mountains, of its oceans, of all of its lands. We all share responsibility for its future. Together we can write a new chapter for each of our countries that will say that we listened to our people, to our planet, and to each other. We can say to the children of coming generations that we came to work together, that we took the actions and passed the laws that solved one of the greatest challenges of our time, of all time, climate change. We can meet this challenge together. We can build a better today and a brighter future together. So let us go forward from here determined and united in this endeavor to save our planet, our people, our future. And let us do it together.